All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Also, want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who I learned this truth from, and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect. Just a quick epistle going in the children for Akim that who do have children or their desire. It's important for us not to be ignorant in any matter to the best of our ability. So we learn these things. We study the Bible to show ourselves approved, to learn in the book of Proverbs, wisdom, instruction, guidance. So concerning children, Proverbs 22 and verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go. So first and foremost, teaching our children the law to the best of our ability, not, cramming it down their throat, if you will, leading by example, letting them see you're not eating abominable things and not being hypocritical, keeping the weekly Sabbath, the high holy days. They'll see these things, man. We also teach why we're doing these things, the fear of the Lord. We teach these things in the privacy of our own dwelling places in hopes. And it says, and when he is old, he will not depart. So we see the children of our nation and the rest of the other heathen children, they're out of order, disobedient, disrespectful, bugged out children. And you can tell as it relates to our nation that comes from not having the fear of the Lord, not understanding the fear of the Lord. That if you do these things, if you be a whore, if you get out here and be a unaliver and you boast in unaliving and drug usage, and that the Lord will utterly destroy not only you, but everything that you touch, everything that you love, everything that you desire, and your legacy and your children's legacy. It'll be generation of desperation, generation of poverty will be brought upon you and your family. And we are starting to see that very thing with the individuals that go through those things. Now we understand balance, that Yahweh Shemal Shah will give us good, he'll give us evil. But it's just some Israelites where it's just seeing bad stuff. They're in bad situations constantly, in poverty, bad things is always happening. Well, these are probably the Israelites that are amongst these families that said, let the Lord blood be upon them. Okay, Lord willing, we're from the a righteous lineage of Israelites that chose the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, and their children and children's children come in the fear of the Lord. And we'll see the manifestation of that protection here pretty soon during the height of Jacob's trouble, in the great tribulation, man. All right, that's why it's important. And we to the best of our ability, try to teach our children the same. First and foremost, leading by example. You know what I mean? Because we don't know if we're of the Lord's elect, so we damn sure don't know if our families are gonna make it if we don't. So we just put on as a hopeful elect, make sure that we wash the blood off of our hands by telling our children these things, man. Hell, especially the laws that we can keep, man, like not eating abominable things, man, and telling them why. Hey, the Lord is not just saying things to be austere. There's a reason behind why the Lord taught us this. There's an understanding that we have. Hey, these animals, these creatures that the Lord commanded us not to eat, they're put on the earth for a reason. They have their purpose. It's not for you to consume it. A lot of them are what you call bottom feeders, or vultures. When we go into the birds and things like that, they eat the carcass, they clean the earth. And you wonder why the land stinks in different places, or the ocean stinks. Is because people are eating the creatures that were created to cleanse the earth, man. The Lord had a perfect system, man. But when man got involved, not adhering to the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, we see the condition of the earth. So not only are the people destroyed because of sin, but the earth itself, it's not in its perfected state. It's not yielding its strength. The things that we eat, even if we can find the quote unquote best fruits and vegetables, it's still not going to produce the max, if you will, nutrients that our body needs to maintain, grow, and to fight the disease and sin and wickedness that is Esau Edom and whatever he is doing, putting in the food, putting in the air. So we need to have our children aware of these things, man. Now more than ever, for brothers that do have children, we gotta let them know. And again, it starts with us leading. Gotta be heads of the household. All right, leading by example. And Lord willing, may Yahweh Shema Shah will have mercy upon us for doing that, and as well as our children. Okay, let's see Proverbs 22, and let's go down to 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. So if you're a child, and the scriptures speak about when I was a child, I did childish things. When I was an adult, basically, I put away those childish things. Believing in idolatry is a childish thing, man. You should be past that, especially if you call yourself a grown man, especially if you call yourself a grown man of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. That's foolishness, man. So it's bound in the heart of a child. We want to put off that old man and become men. All right. But just like a literal child, okay, absolutely, they'll get into foolishness, man. They're going to get into things. Hell, they're in the flesh. They're not perfect. We're not perfect. So when they do go off, you have to correct them, and that's good to know concerning Yahweh Bashim Shah dealing with us. Scriptures speak about if the Lord chastens those who He loves. If you're not being chastened, you're likened unto a bastard, which is an illegitimate child. So the Lord not really dealing with you as a child if you're not being corrected. So that's why it's important to understand. In the truth, you're gonna make mistakes, and you'll at times need to be corrected. We strive to offend less, okay, but there's times that you're just gonna mess up and fall short of the glory that is Yahweh Bahashem Awashah, and you're gonna be needed to be corrected. And it don't always have to be a harsh thing, man. It could be dealt with a lot of love, man. Sincere spirits. Sometimes it can be intense and harsh and rude, speechy. But if you're a man, you'll cleave on to that and know why it's happening, and it'll go well for you if you can take that correction. Like our children, it'll be good for them to take heed to what we're saying concerning their well-being. Hey, the great tribulation is coming. You ought to listen to me, because one day you're really, really going to want me to be daddy. You know what I mean? You're really, really going to want my protection. So in order for you to receive that protection, you got to be willing to be corrected, man. There's no protection without correction, man. All right. You can't, and that's very important for women. They don't want to fall into any type of subjection. So during that day, Isaiah 4:1, when 7 women tried to take hold of one man, a lot of women are going to be out of luck in that day, because they wasn't willing to be corrected. You couldn't tell them nothing. You couldn't tell them to sit down, put on no clothes, to come out the street. You couldn't tell them that it's not good to be a so-called independent woman. And in that day, they'll realize the error of their ways. Then they'll want to get their act together. But the Lord said He'll mock when your calamity come. He'll mock when He'll laugh and mock when your calamity come. And He'll do that through His Israelites, man, through His the remnant of the nation of Israel. And we hope to be those individuals, man. Okay. Let's go to the book of Psalms 127 and 3. Lo, children are the heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is His reward. And again, going into heritage, that legacy, we want to be partakers in leaving that heritage for our children, that especially as it relates to this great tribulation, us being at the end, desiring to be of that 144,000 of the Lord's hopeful elect, that 1/3. We want to be of the first fruits. We want to receive salvation. We want to be beamed up and be able to tell our children, and they tell their children, and throughout their generations, what we were chosen to do, man. So Lord willing, we put on as the hopeful elect by doing these things, these epistles, actually keeping the law to the best of our ability, and hopes that we'll always have that heritage of what that reward, that salvation. And the reward, yeah, we understand all Israel shall be saved, but there's a process, there's a procedure, and the Lord does has this group of individuals known as the first fruits, or the elect. That's the reward, the heritage that we want to participate in. Is these Israelites, the elect, the different ones? There's something about them we don't know. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah has prepared for those that love him and fear him. But there's going to be a difference between the Israelites that make it on this go round and the Israelites that'll be born in the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Again, that heritage, that reward. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Proverbs 29:17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. So even when your child is young, as that child gets older, you worry less. You'll literally have to deal with less stuff probably. Yeah, you definitely will serve Yahweh Shema Shah, because again, the Lord won't give your child over to that foolishness that a lot of children turn young adults are given over to. Like, your child would be intelligent enough, have enough discernment, or whatever the Lord will bless that child with, that's turned adult, which actually isn't a child, always going to be your child, right? But to society, they're an adult. They wouldn't be down there in Houston at spring break out there getting STDs and stuff like that. They would be circumspect. They wouldn't know and be wise enough to have fun another way. Still going to have their fun probably, but just not going to be dumb enough to get on a plane all the way and go down to Texas, man. These are things that you would talk about to your child. The Lord will help you give that instruction out to your household and guide them, but it starts with you fearing the Lord, and the Lord will sup with you. Hey, if you're not you don't have, if let's say you don't feel like a good parent, you pray to Yahweh Shema Shah, and he'll give you the words to say. He'll give you on the spirit of a leader and the spirit of an instructor, and you won't have anything to worry about. All that goes into serving the Lord. It isn't just, a fearful thing to serve Yahweh Shema Shah. Hey, the Lord deals and he subs with us. He teaches us how to be better men, how to be better servants of Yahweh Shema Shah first and foremost, how to be better husbands, better brothers, sisters, better members of society. The hell with this one, but the Lord does teach us how to blend in right now. But in relation to our law, being citizens, the Lord teaches us all these things if you're receptive to the law. Unfortunately, 2/3 they're not receptive to the law, neither are their children, so they have a heritage of disobedience, and we're going to see the reward thereof, if you will, quote unquote, the reward, and they're going to have a heritage of that. Oh yeah, your mother was disobedient. Your mother was one of the ones that said, let the that wanted Yahweh Shah persecuted, that lied on Yahweh Shah. You will always remember these things, man. So that's not good. So put on as a hopeful elect. Don't teach your household an idol. You know what I mean? Teach your household Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, and it shall go well with you first and foremost. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to the book of 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So the Lord provides, but it starts with you, starts with the man, okay? You got to serve your Yahweh Shema Shah, and it starts with fear, and that fear is going to produce a certain action. There's going to be things pertaining to your lot that you're going to fulfill, whatever that lot is. Every brother is not a prophet, okay? But you're going to perform the way that the Lord wants you to perform, man. And guess what? The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. Every brother can testify. Serving the Lord, he will take care of you. Listen to brothers. It's very important to listen to brothers' testimonies about serving Yahweh Shema Shah, things that they're going through, have been through. and still able to serve the Lord and be provided for. And the Lord will not have you to be a laughing stock right now. He'll provide for you and make a way that you're able to provide for your home. He'll give you a job. He'll make, provisions. He'll be able to put food on the table, and you won't be likened into an infidel, a simp, and Eve won't look at you crazy, nor will your children look at you crazy because you're not able to provide for them. It's very important. The Lord definitely is not a man that he shall lie. He honors the order, especially if you're coming in the fear of Yahweh Shema Shah. He'll restore the order amongst your household, the man, the woman, the child of the nation of Israel, starting with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah as the head. But hey man, look at our nation. We've grown up in households where that wasn't the case. Hell, we've grown up in households that didn't even have a man. How you gonna have a man of the Lord if there's not even a man in the house, period? Which is what you see now. All these children and generations of lost children and more generations of more lost children. All right, which is why the Lord just ultimately has to great put a great reset, put the great cleanser, which is fire, among the earth, man, and just cleanse it and burn this place down, man, because honestly, it's unsalvageable. Thus saith the Lord. Sure, the Lord could wake his nation up and have them absolutely clean, but that's not what the book said. The Lord had already said the way that he wanted this story to play out. Okay, it's not meant for the Lord to save the entire nation of Israel like that. Okay, it's only a remnant that's going to be saved, and he's going to do it a certain way. And Lord willing, we're putting on as the hopeful elect those individuals predestined to receive salvation. Okay. Oh yeah, in the book of Titus, going there in relation to being doers of the word, not just hearers. So again, things like not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Titus 2:7, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. So being sincere and showing a pattern of that each and every day, not being a hypocrite, because if you do it one day and then don't do it the next, then your child will look at you, especially you know how these children are, especially these days, the iPod generation or iPad generation. They're very circumspect, man, when they want to be. And a child will call you out on your BS. So we don't want to have, we want to be found blameless, man. That's what this is really all about in relation to the Lord, man. The Lord justifying us, man, in relation to not taking that mark of the beast and saying, hey, these are my servants. The Lord to give us that pardon. If we're serving them, man, and doing the right thing, man, and if we're teaching our household to do the right thing, coming in the fear of the Lord, hey, the Lord will fight for us. He will justify us in all things. It could be quarreling that happens amongst your own household. You're serving the Lord, your child is doing wrong, he'll give you the upper hand. Even out in the world, of course, man, you serving Yahweh Shema Shah as a child of Yahweh, okay, servant of Yahweh Shah, hey, the Lord will fight your battles and he'll give you justification. Ultimately, that's what we're fighting for, man, to be justified here during Jacob's trouble, when they come in like a madman sparing none, when they persecute us for nothing, making up stuff, splicing together videos, doing AI stuff. You know what I mean? Saying all manners of wickedness about us that isn't true, man. The Lord will say, hey, you know what? I found no true fault with these servants here. I'm going to have mercy upon them. He'll lift up a standard and it's just going to go down. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashem Awashai via the prophets. Okay. Book of Exodus 20 and 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. And again, we have a generation of not that. It's a plethora of reasons why the children aren't respectful to the parents. It starts with us not being obedient towards the Lord ultimately, and because of that, the Lord, let your children go crazy on you, man. So, and we see the manifestation okay, of that, of those broken households. Look at everybody, even the women and men, the men and women that are in old age, they come from broken households as well. You wonder why you got old women 40 plus still dressing in and behaving like 18-year-old, 19-year-old, still talking like that, or they talk like the iPad generation, using speech as such, man, like young children. It's because we have continued heritages of disobedience towards Yahweh Bahashem Mahawashah, man. They didn't honor their father because there was no father to be freaking honored, okay? Because of sin, all right? Because of adultery, adulterous situations, man. And it's just a mess. And once again, this is why Yahweh Bahashem Mahawashah has to bring that great reset, man, which really is the kingdom. It's unsalvageable, and it's meant to be so. The Lord say only a remnant shall be saved. 1/3, 2/3 shall be cut off and die. 66% of the nation of Israel is going to be cut off and die. And it starts with being brought up the wrong way. Okay, let's see. The book of Philippians. 4:19. But my power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Hamashiach Yahushua. So that's good to remember. We will be provided for daily bread and whatever else the Lord seems fit. Every brother has more than their daily bread. We can all testify. Does every brother need a TV? Even Wi-Fi? Yeah, we needed to do the work, but do we need it to do the work for real? For real? If if the Lord wanted us to be that diligent, we would just have to make it happen like the apostles did, man. Like the brothers that came before us laboring in this thing, man. All right. But the Lord will give you, but you got to serve. You got to come in the fear of Yahweh Bahashem and Yahweh, and the Lord will provide with everything that you need. So if you do have children, no matter if they're in your household or not, the Lord will provide a way. That is very, very beautiful precept to remember, man. What is that? Philippians 4:19. But my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches. And that's important to remember as well. The Lord has an abundance. So don't put the Lord in a box, and don't be like these 2/3 Israelites. And that's something that really pricks my spiritual nerves. This whole pay my bills. I got to pay my bills. Can you pay my bills culture? That is the USA. That's all they care about, man, is paying bills or being able to pay their freaking bills, man. As long as those bills are paid, it's all good, no matter what, man. Jay could be going through the worst time in his life, especially the old school Israelites that are, getting up in age. They grew up like that, man. A house and maintaining that house, man. So paying those bills and going to work was all they know. This generation coming up, they don't care nothing about going to work and paying bills and all that stuff. But don't be like that, man. Having fear. And you'll be convicted if you're not serving the Lord. He'll give you over to that type of fear of a bill. See, we ain't worried about that. Bills come, bills get paid, bills don't get paid. But guess what? The difference is, hey, Yahweh Shema Hawashai didn't give us the spirit of fear. These people be fear. So, some brothers, who knows, man? We got roofs over our heads, man. That's the whole point, is the Lord. He'll give you a tunnel vision. He'll put a spirit upon you to understand what's important in relation to his power and his will, man. So we're not worried about a funky bill like the 2/3. They will freak out. And we've had people of our own nation that have off themselves because of their inability or the thought thereof or the fear thereof of not being able to pay a damn bill. You can't fear these things. And if you're serving the Lord and you've been through things already, that's why it's important to be chastened. The Lord to take you through it, give you experience. And ultimately, we need that experience for what we're getting ready to go through. So, Lord willing, we are those children, those men, those children of a righteous heritage. And we're going to be protected here pretty soon. During Jacob's trouble, we'll see, and everybody else will see that protection, man. They'll know a prophet or you're the family member of a prophet have been among them, man. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Till next time, Shalom.